Hi everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, with another series of 15 Minutes of Fame. We're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon this month. We're on the 28th. We got some more today and some on Thursday. So guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, reach out pretty quickly. There's a few spots left, reach out. Think about it. TV commercial would set you back some $30,000, right? And probably people go to the toilet or make a cup of tea while the commercial's on. The other aspect, guys, you can get 10 radio spots for about $5,000, and they might play them at 2 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep. So, but come on, 15 minutes of fame. And we'll put you across all the different famous channels on social media and with all your links so people can reach out, and we'll help you get your 15 minutes of fame. And I got an awesome guest today, all the way from United States, and I forgot to ask how to pronounce his name. I'm going to try my best. It looks a bit like the English version of Joseph, but looks like Tousif Rahman. How do I go, Tousif?
Joseph with the T, Tousif.
It is Joseph, is it?
Joseph with the T, Tousif.
Oh, Tousif. Okay, Tousif Rahman. You going
Yes.
good? I'm picked up well, guys. I'm learning English every day. And he's an awesome guy, a business consultant with the MRT Groups Incorporated and My Financial Suite Incorporated. He's a player in the finance and tax world, guys, with interesting place to be. Been in the industry for a long time now, and he helps people to grow their business while legally reducing their taxes. As one of the superstars, Kerry Packer in Australia, said, anyone that pays more tax than what they have to is mad. And the same for you guys. Get in touch with someone like Tousif here and find out how you can reduce your tax legally. It's better off in your pocket than someone else's pocket.
Yep.
Key achievements. During his time he's doing this, he's helped people write off more than 10 million in taxes. Imagine what good that can do in the world, guys. And the government can't do much with it, but you certainly could, right? His personal motto, save small business, save the economy. Taxes are legalized theft. Isn't that so true? Let's play the game and get you out of it. So he shows you what to do. And remember, guys, this is all totally legal. Nothing shady or anything about it. He'll jump on a call with him, have a chat. He's a really nice guy. Have a cup of coffee, tell him your situation, and he'll give you some ideas, totally free of charge. Costs you nothing to have a chat, guys, and then go from there. Right? Interesting fact about himself: he's an engineer, an athlete, while being a serial entrepreneur. And I've got all the rest of his details here. So it's welcome to the stage today. How are you, my friend, in the evening over there? How are you? Good?
Good to have me. Good to have me here, and appreciate having me.
No trouble at all. It's been a pleasure. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career.
So I came to US about 7 years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
started seven businesses, or pretty much eight businesses in the last 7 years or so, from a third world Asian country. And when I first came to US, someone messed up my taxes so bad, I was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Uh-huh.
And while I was making so less and still had to pay so much, I was like, hey, why are these multi-billionaires not paying anything? So one thing leading to another, started learning myself, doing myself, started investing into real estate, and ended up realizing that, hey, I could potentially help more people to get out of the situation and avoid the situation I had so that they can come up with creative ideas instead of messing it up. That's when I got my licenses. So now we're licensed in all 50 states with unlimited representation rights. And I now am looking to help people with the same situation.
Okay. You speak to a good friend of mine, Albert Corey. Look him up, Albert Corey. He's been doing taxes for 45 years. He's an awesome guy. Look him up. Nice guy. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome that, please?
So the biggest challenge was communication and marketing because
Sure.
coming in from engineering background, we're more comfortable with machines than human.
Mhm.
But quickly had to learn the hard way
To
after
adapt.
losing a couple of businesses that without people, you don't have a business.
That's right. People make a business. You're 100% correct.
So I had to change myself to push myself to be a much better communicator Had to
Yes,
learn a lot of books, read a lot of books, reach out to a lot of people. I have multiple mentors in my life, and I do appreciate them all. Um, and also messed up things. So the way I learned is by messing things up and then solving.
absolutely. The only people that don't make mistakes, guys, are the people that don't do anything. You'll never make a mistake if you stay in bed, right?
Absolutely.
Um, Tell us the most important aspect of your career that changed the direction in which you were going. Where was that big pivotal moment,
Couple of the times that I wanted to be with family, I couldn't.
right?
For me, family is a big thing.
Yes,
And my job needed me to be on site, especially being in mechanical engineering. Most of our jobs does require on-site
leaving home.
supervision.
Sure, yep,
So one of the things, and also being in the Northern Virginia side, it's really cold, and
yep,
I'm not very happy, very acclimated with it yet.
sure,
So I had to find a way that would allow me to help people make money and also travel around when I need it.
yep,
So that's when I realized that, hey, one of the easiest way or least path of least resistance now is to get into the taxes and help people with their monies and so on and so forth. I'm also working to help people with their investments in
yes,
US, in a couple of other European countries as well. So it
awesome.
depends on how they're open. And of course, those depends on how they're structured. There are legal requirements that I'm working on following. But long story short, the biggest pivotal point for me was the moment I realized I'm not in control of my time.
Well,
That's the time I realized that I had to do and make some changes.
sure. You don't have a job. A job, guys, is just on broke. That's a job, guys, just on broke. And it's about the three F's, right? I tell people it's about family, friends, and freedom. And if you have the right mindset, guys, you can have all those things. I didn't say it was easy. It's not easy, but you persevere and you get help and get mentorship from people like our friend here. Find out what you don't know. It's amazing what you don't know, but the knowledge is only a phone call away. There's mentors out there who can help you. In your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your success along the way?
So when you say skills, the biggest skill I would say is perseverance
Yes.
because and the willingness to push through.
Yeah,
Because
determination.
again, as you
Yep,
mentioned, it's not easy.
that's right.
There have been times where I remember I literally came back from job late at night, alone in my room, literally cried. And I
Yeah, I've
said,
been there.
"This
I've
is the
been there. Don't
life."
worry. Been there, done that.
Because I mean, where I'm from Bangladesh. I went to the best university in Bangladesh,
Yes.
where there we had a 300 to 1 acceptance ratio, which is called BUET.
Wow.
And even with that, we were treated like the cream of the crops in the country. Everywhere you go, you were treated like special. And
Yes,
now all of a sudden, I enter this workforce and I'm literally being a trash.
that's right. You're just one of the boys. Yeah,
And the biggest thing that I feel like the skill is, hey, I understand this time is tough. I still have to figure it out and do the thing.
that's right.
And all the other skills can be learned. As I mentioned,
Absolutely.
communication skills, I literally lack so much. Every time I go back to my university page or such, as I tell people that, hey, we engineers are trained to speak more with the machine than a human being. Change it. So
That's right.
all those communication skills, interpersonal skills, financial skills, licenses, they can be taught. But this mental fortitude is something that you cannot really teach someone. It
Yeah.
just have to be built.
It's about mindset, guys. It's about wanting to do it. Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field as you've been doing? What's your secret there?
You have to have a bigger goal. Your goal needs to overpass you. It needs to be so big that if someone reaches out and listens, they just laugh at you
That's right.
and think that's not impossible. That's really literally impossible. So if
Yeah.
your big is not if your goal is not that big, it's probably not worth fighting.
Yeah,
So
think about Walt Disney, guys, when he had a dream about he approached some 350 people for help, and no one wanted they all laughed at him. And look at what Walt Disney achieved, and people like him, Stephen Jobs, etc. The world's full of them, guys. And these guys, by the way, didn't come out necessarily from great educations either. They're self-made men with determination and a dream,
mhm,
and kept moving forward through all the things that go wrong. Tell me about a recent
absolutely.
project or achievement you're particularly proud of.
My Hunger Free World project. So we started, as I mentioned, the biggest dream. The goal in my life is to create a world where no child is going hungry.
Yeah, that would be
So I remember
that's an
when
awesome
I
goal.
was
Yep.
in in the process of my education, I didn't have the guts to ask for money to my parents because my dad already retired.
Yep.
So I had to go almost a week with a pack of just a pack of biscuits and water,
Wow.
which made me feel what hunger is. And I told myself that if God ever gives me opportunity, I'm going to create a world that is not going to have any hungry kids, irrespective of their ethnicity, background, religion, race, color, creed, or anything. And one of the projects that we have started is we have started a chicken farm in
Wow.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, interesting.
And interestingly enough, it recycles itself. We do have for-profit side, but the biggest one that I'm more proud of is the one that is trained in local education,
Yes.
local schools, where the children are the ones who are taking care of and children, the teacher, taking care of the chicken. And when they grow up, they sell it and also ducks. And also when they need, they actually consume them. And this project is kind of like a more little bit of self-sustaining.
It's funny you say this. I was only talking to my girlfriend, true to story, last night about eggs and saying how remarkable eggs are and how they come in a shell, like a little package of, of goodness, right? And
Mhm.
it's an amazing, isn't it? How good the egg is and how simple it is, but how good it is, right? So
Absolutely.
you're very much on the right track there. It's funny about that. And by the way, when I was 14, I know about being hungry, guys. You ready, guys? I was living in a dumpster, a skip bin, right? I found an empty skip bin behind a shopping center, and I was living in the skip bin because my parents told me to get out of home. And I was getting up in the morning. I was stealing milk from the local vendor. I was stealing oranges from the orchard and stealing bread from the baker. That's how I survived for a few weeks on milk, oranges, and bread. So I've been there. It was a bit better than the biscuits, but I've been there. So every man's got a story, guys, and we'd love to hear your story. So come on the show. Tell us, so you told us about a recent, what advice would you give someone aspiring to sort of follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give someone, from an alleged third world country, or even people who are not doing well with themselves today? What advice would you give them?
Stop finding excuses
That's right. That's a good one. Yeah,
and get out of a victim mindset
that's right.
because people like, especially coming in from third world countries or even in US where I'm at, or even I have traveled now into different countries in Europe. I'm actually going there a few months afterwards as well, even in Middle East, even where you have ridiculous amount of wealth. There's a lot of people, it's very common for them to go through the victim mindhood
Yeah, all
and
their lives. Yeah.
also come up with excuses that for the things that they don't even control
Yes.
and not focus on things they can control.
Yeah.
Like I can control what am I gonna do in next 7 days, but I cannot control what the president of US or UK
That's
or
right.
Australia is gonna do.
That's
So
right. We've got no
for
control over the
me,
work. We can control ourselves in our own environment, guys. That's a
yeah,
key one. You can't control Ukraine and Russia or what Trump's going to do next. You can't control any of that. It'll just happen regardless of what you do. But you can control you and your environment and the people you love, right?
absolutely.
Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
In terms of my life goal, as I mentioned, I'm
Yeah,
definitely looking towards the hunger-free world.
yeah,
We
lovely.
have our legal paperwork set up for the legal nonprofit.
Yes,
In terms of businesses, I am in the process of buying multiple businesses at the moment. This is my tax is just one of my businesses.
sure.
I'm actually even looking at buying football clubs or even become a footballer myself
Hmm.
if that's on the cards. But in terms of other life goals, I would also love to spread education because where I'm
Sure.
from, proper education, or I would say more focused technical education is really rare.
Yes.
We unfortunately are more experimented with garbage and crap
Yeah, that's
in
right.
the name of education in a lot of places, even in many
Yeah,
places in the US, unfortunately.
yeah.
So the two of the biggest things that if I had an opportunity in life to work on, those are the two main things I would work on.
Yeah, I would say the education system is flawed throughout the world. Why don't they? Two things they don't teach very well. Why don't they teach health? You don't know these things when you're young. Why don't they teach health? And why don't they teach finance? Teach you how to make a dollar, and then teach you how to hang on to that dollar that you make. And the other one
Mm.
is your health. Health is your wealth. I'm
Yeah.
77. You'll find that out when you get older. Trust me, you'll find it out. Many of you won't make it to 77, right? Because you won't look after
Yep.
your health. And as I always say, health is wealth. There's a lot of truth in that. Tell me, how can our listeners and people watching this show reach out and find out more about you and get some of your valuable advice?
Awesome. So I'm active on multiple platforms through LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, more active on Instagram and Facebook. And
Yes,
of course, I'm really active on my personal cell phone. One of the things that I'm trying to change in the accounting industry is people make a mess and then consult with their accountants. So I
yes,
want to reverse that so that people can communicate with me before
yep,
messing things up.
fair enough. All right. Before we wrap this up, we're about to wrap it up. What's a fun fact about yourself that most people do not know?
Uh, Fun factor, interestingly enough, I eat a lot, even though
Can't you
uh,
see? That applies to me. Can't you see that?
so I eat a lot, but even though a lot of people think that uh,
But you
I
don't
don't.
eat. Yeah.
But again, of course, the people who are very close to me, they
Yes.
realize that, hey, every one of us have the
They,
looks
yeah, they
of
say
our
don't
food.
don't 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 take you to a buffet. You'll eat them out of house and home. They probably ban you.
I haven't never lost money in buffet.
Right? No, I'm sure. And the smart thing, guys, if you go to a buffet, guys, go to the sushi and the prawns, all the good stuff first before you fill up. Don't fill up on
Yep,
bread and rubbish. All right.
yep.
Mate, you've been an awesome guest. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. So, guys, if you want to get your 15 minutes of fame, just like our friend here, Tousif, has, reach out and then reach out. Both of us are up for a chat anytime you need some help. You need with me with marketing, with Tousif, it's about finance and how to not pay all that tax to the government that's being totally wasted. It'll show you legal ways you can reduce your tax, and that's a saving in itself. One phone call can do all that. So it's been awesome to have you on the show today. And now we're going to wrap it up. Thanks very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me as well. Have a good one.